I have a phrase up there and it says, a picture is worth 1,000 words. I know, some of you have already commented. I want you to take a minute and think. Think to yourself, what does that mean? A picture is worth 1,000 words. And then I want you to turn and talk at your tables. Share what you guys think, and then we're going to talk about that.
You can describe something. A picture is worth, but a picture is like worth all of it.
Eyes up here. What'd you guys come up with, Bray?
We came up with like that. A picture could be a word because like if you like for example like a ship, like you could tell like a story out of that or something like that.
Okay, so if you saw a picture of a ship, we could come up with probably numerous stories, correct?
Yeah.
Right? What else?
Like last year or in third grade, when we did the haunted house thing,
We did.
we had the one picture, but we had to write a story about it.
Yeah.
What we saw.
You guys had a picture of a haunted house, and you created these amazing stories just from that picture. Good connection. What else?
We said, well, what I said was like, one picture can describe everything, every single factor from how large, say if it's a picture of the Golden Gate Bridge, it describes the tint of the color, it describes the clearness of the air, it describes the shiny and reflection of the water, it describes the size of it, it describes every
Everything.
tiny factor of the picture and or painting.
Every little detail,
Every
right?
single detail, even
What-
if it's not very detailed.
Exactly. What else?
Well, I think it's kind of like a picture is like the same as like 1,000 words because you could describe something in 1,000 different ways. But a picture kind of already does that.
A picture already kind of does that, right? Okay, so what we're going to focus on today in the next couple of days is poetry. And as we read poetry, authors use figurative language and imagery to help paint pictures in our mind as readers. Now that comes later. We're going to get into the different types of figurative language in a couple weeks, but we guys have learned that in the 4th grade. So when they paint pictures in our mind, how many of you kind of think that reading poetry is hard sometimes? Yeah, we have this figurative language, we have personification and things that kind of take us out of our element. It seems a little different, and that can be hard as readers to read poetry. So what we're going to do is take a step back and look at that and figure out the meanings of our poems this week by analyzing our poetry. What does that figurative language do? We have to create those pictures in our mind, but go beyond that. How do we understand the meanings of our poems? Yes?
I have something to say about, we just opened our boxes after we were moving, and Mom found 3 books of all poems by Sheldon Silverstein.
By Shel Silverstein, yes.
And all of his poems were really funny in that book. We found the book and I really wanted to keep them, and I started reading them. They were great poems. It was a wonderful book.
They are. Okay, look up here. It says, I can determine the theme of a poem using details from the text. What does this word mean? If we have to determine theme, how do we do that?
Find out.
We have to find out. We have to find out. Oh, my marker's running out. We have to find out. Anyone else? Come on.
Sometimes to infer.
We have to sometimes infer. So we do that through analysis, right? We are constantly looking at how do we analyze? How do we become good thinkers? We've done our pattern folders where you guys were making observations in text coding. Then we were chunking our thinking and coming up with conclusions. That's what we're going to do today. We are going to analyze. And what we're going to do is take that same thinking with the pattern folders and just kind of do it as whole group. So we need to be able to make those observations. And then we need to identify our patterns. And then we need to draw our conclusions. Okay? If we can do those 3 things, if we can make observations, sometimes just literally what do you see, sometimes that's our text coding as we read text, and we can put those ideas together in a pattern and then draw conclusions, you guys can read anything. Any kind of text, any kind of situation, any kind of a visual, you guys will be able to understand if you can do those 3 things. All right, so as we start today, we're going to kind of not look at a poem, which is kind of funny because we're supposed to be reading poetry. And I thought it would be perfect because an advertisement is kind of brief and it's got a neat picture up here. And we are going to look at those literal things that we see in an advertisement, the things just literally. And we're going to make our observations. and then we're going to put together some patterns. And I want to take you guys from the literal meaning of things to that abstract meaning. Do you guys know what abstract is? What is something abstract?
Well, abstract is considered the not like to have a specific thing you're going for, but to just do it.
Okay, kind of. What else?
And abstract means that it's like exploiting the factors of, say, an image like that image, which I've actually seen before. Say like it's pulling everything closer to you, then instead of it being like just a painting, like okay, it's it's just a painting. But like when it's abstract, like pulling you into it, and you're like, and you see from multiple angles, even if it's just from
Okay.
an angle.
Okay, what else, Sam?
Abstract is like simple.
Okay, well, what we want to do is we want to take these things and we want to kind of move into the things that we can't see or touch. When we're drawing conclusions, those things that are not concrete, like when we make an identification of a theme or when we're inferring about something, those conclusions are things that an advertisement are necessarily in our text. They don't tell us all the time. We have to infer those things. They're not there. We have to move from that literal meaning to that analysis of our thinking. Does that make sense? Okay, so the very first thing I want you to do is just look at this ad. Over here, I actually wrote what was right here because it was so small when I put it on there, you guys couldn't see it. And we're just gonna make observations. So it says the environmentally conscious car that goes all the way to the environment. And then we have that picture down there. It says a gas-free commute is great. But sometimes you want to get out of the city and actually see some of the environment. With the Chevrolet Volt, you can drive 35 miles gas and emissions-free and up to 375 miles with a full charge and a full tank of gas. It's electric when you want it, gas when you need it. It's more than electric. Whoa, sounds like a pretty good car, huh, guys? All right.
But is it actually that?
So let's start, and what we want to do is if you think about like when people put out ads and when they're selling something, yes, there's that product, okay? So we have they want you to buy something, but it's kind of like with an advertisement, it's like if you buy this, then you get this. If you buy new gym shoes, you're going to be the best athlete in the world. There's that implied meaning within ads. So that's what we want to get to today. I want you to just give me the literal things that you see. Any phrases or pictures up there? What are our observations? Tell me.
My observation is that it's cloudy.
Okay, hold on.
And it's like an environment, like in the forest type.
Okay, so we have
And it
kind of
looks
like a
he's
forest.
on like a dirt road, and he looks like he's kind of about to go hiking.
Okay,
So I
hold
think-
on. Maybe perhaps he's a hiker. Okay. Just our observations. Don't infer yet. What else?
I feel, well, I would see, I was like, I'm seeing just dark clouds.
Okay, so we have not only we have clouds, but kind of like that darkness to our clouds. What else?
And I feel like they're going camping.
Okay, so perhaps they could be going camping. What else? Noah.
Looks like he's on a mountain.
Okay, so perhaps he could be on a mountain. What else do you all see?
Well, well, it kind of looks like he's like a far away from like any kind of like city or something, and it kind of ties in like what it says.
Okay.
Like it has like a gas tank and like it says,
Okay, so we can go 375 miles. Was there something that it said? I think it said something about the city, but sometimes you want to get out of a. Yeah, so that was a good observation. What else? Kingston?
Oh, it kind of looks a little rainy.
It looks like rainy, a little foggy out there. What else? Hayden?
I kind of agree with Brady that it looks far away, but another thing is that, like, in the background, you can see the mountains,
Okay.
and it looks very far. It also looks like a dirt path.
Okay, so we have like that dirt road, dirt path.
Goes far away.
Okay. What else? Lily?
It kind of looks like today, like it feels like it might feel like stuffy and humid.
Kind of humid out. Ooh. Do you guys see anybody in this picture or a thing? What else?
Well, it seems like there's like a man. Seems like he might be hiking, like Sophia said. He has like a jacket on, and like backpack.
Okay. So a man, he could be hiking. What else?
Oh, no, I just realized I knew he said it. But there is a car.
There is a car there, isn't there? There is a car.
Everything in the writing is about the car. It's all about the
probably-
car.
It's probably they put the car in there bigger than everything else, so you see it.
You think the car is bigger?
Everything is so flat in that picture, though.
Okay. What else?
It looks like he's getting prepared for something, maybe.
Prepared. What makes you say that?
Because he's like, it seems like he's trying to get like something out of the back of his trunk.
Okay. The trunk is open, isn't it? Okay. What about any phrases or words up there? We said one. We can drive 375 miles. What else?
Well, I mean, it says the environment conscious car.
The
And
environment.
then they're like in the environment right now.
And they're in the environment. Let's see.
So you can kind of see like the car when it just made
Car, I
it
think.
up into the environment.
Okay. What else? Yeah, and it says it goes all the way to the, yes. What else, Kamani?
Going back to what Braden said about the mountain, I could think it would be pretty cold up there because if you go high up.
Okay, perhaps it could be cold. Kind of think he's high up, far away. What else, Kevin?
I noticed this first when I looked at the text. Gas free.
Okay, so we can be gas free. And it says it's also electric, right? Okay. Anything else? Madeline?
It looks as if they place the text in a way where you can still see it, because if the white was like down in the green, it would look like a little wonky basic kind of.
Okay, so perhaps the way they placed it, it would interfere with the picture of the up there. Okay, what else?
I can also see that like kind of like what Madeline said. It like they made the text bold, like the top of it, so like maybe it would stand out more. So
Especially those environmentally, that word environment, and that it's, you know, somebody who cares about our environment. If you're environmentally cautious, what are you? Or conscious, what are you? Maybe cares, okay? All right, so we know obviously that they're trying to sell what? A car, okay. So what we need to move towards is, what is the idea though? What, beyond the car, are they trying to sell us an idea? What is that concept that they want us to get as a viewer of this advertisement? Before we do that, we are going to kind of take our observations and put them into, do we see any patterns that will help us get to those concepts, that big idea of what is being sold? Really, what idea? And these are going to be our conclusions. This is that stuff that we take our analysis. Now we're going to kind of go deeper with our thinking. All right, what should we, let's start with, actually, let's start with this. I'm going to start for you. Where did that go? A man. All right, we have a man. What I loved about when you guys gave me your observations was this man turned into a couple different things. We said we have a man, but what else did we say we had? If we were to put our ideas together, what else, Sam? A what? But thinking about the man, what would go with him? You guys called him a couple different things. A hiker. What else? He could have been a biker. We can add that. Okay, so we have a hiker, a biker. What else did we say?
A camper.
A camper. Okay, so we have somebody who potentially is going to be in the environment, maybe hiking, biking, or camping. Anything else that we can group with our man? What else?
I'm thinking maybe environment conscious.
Okay, maybe that's his way of thinking. I like that. Come on, I didn't think of that. Good job. Okay, somebody who is environmentally conscious. What else?
To kind of go with the band, you could do like the backpack and the preparing.
Okay, so the backpack, he's preparing for something. All right, anything else? What else?
I would say I see like in combining far away from city and mountain. I would see an adventurer.
Okay.
Adventures or a mountaineer.
Okay, so let's, hold on, let me get where you are. All right, so we have this place. This is our mountain. All right, so this is kind of like a mountaineer or somebody who likes adventures. All right, what else could go with our mountain?
Like combining them. That one and then the one right under it, far away from the city's like he doesn't want to be in a suburbia.
Okay, so maybe he wants an adventure. Okay. What else goes with just mountain and being far away from the city?
Maybe the 375 miles.
Okay, so the kind of the far away.
Like if he wanted to go like camping, he wanted to be in an area where he couldn't get intercepted by other people and he could actually do that. And then hiking, I could see him going somewhere else to try and get a better hiking experience to probably bring back as a story.
All right, so we have this kind of like this outside adventure. What other words go with that environment or the outside adventure? Hayden?
Well, it says that the gas and electric, it kind of goes with like what Gage said, 375 miles away.
You want to take this out and put it with another way?
Like he's like by being environmentally conscious, he could have used the gas in like the city, and when he got into more of the nature, he could have used the electric.
Okay. All right, let's make that be a separate one. Then let's have this be, okay, let's go back. Well, let's finish this one first. We have all of these things that are in our environment. What other words up here would be chunked with that environment?
Probably like I noticed.
The ones that we already have up here.
Yeah, there's like a lot of trees.
Yes, yes, we have the trees. Do we even write trees up here?
Looks like
The
he's
forest.
very far away from like all the hustle and bustle. He's in a quiet place.
He is in a quiet place. What else goes with our environmental words? We're just making our patterns. You guys are jumping ahead. What else?
Cloudy.
Okay, we have that cloudy. We have this dirt road. What else?
Rainy.
We even have the dark clouds, and we have the rain and the humidity, right? And it's cold. All right, so all of those things were kind of our environment. So we have this person in the environment, and what's left up there? Okay, we have the car. Listen to this question. What role, just literally, what is the role that car played in that advertisement?
It's actually the main thing about it, even though there's so little about it.
But what did it do for him, right? Just in that
It
advertisement.
got him to where he is.
It got him where he needed to go. It got him there. Okay. So then we have, well, we have the gas-free, the electric, that all goes with the car. All right, now, oh yeah, I forgot that one.
And the word car.
And the word car, right? We wrote that twice.
No,
All right.
environmentally conscious car.
Oh, you're right. You guys are better than I am. Okay, so we have these ideas. This man, the environment, and you guys kind of put some words here, this adventure, and then we have this car. So now we need to take that and kind of push from that literal meaning into that abstract, to the thing that it's not saying. What are they trying to sell? What are they saying? If you get this car, what's going to happen to you? What do you guys think? What do you think?
Well, I think it's saying like if you get this call, then you could be like this man who like went like far away from the city and like is having like kind of like an adventure.
Okay, so kind of like an adventure. So let's even think bigger. Let's think of those concepts. We have this adventure. What does a car represent? Okay, beyond that, if you can go somewhere, transportation, what's that word that I'm thinking about?
Travel.
Okay, traveling, which also means what? If you can,
Transportation.
okay, yes,
Like it's gonna get you places.
it's going to get you places. It's going to give you all different kinds of what?
Kinetic energy.
Yes, what did you just say? Opportunities. So do you think that big idea that they were trying to sell is, if you get this car, you can have these opportunities? Would that be something that you think they're trying to sell? Yeah. When you guys said that they can be far away, you want to get away from the city, sometimes that's an opportunity. So that car is representing that. What else? Okay, but think about your big ideas. What is the big idea? And I agree. I think it is opportunities. What else? Which is also, there's another thing. If you're kind of allowed to do those things, what is that? There's a word that I'm looking for. You are. Freedom? Yes, it could be freedom. So they're saying, here's your freedom. You have opportunities. Buy this Chevy Volt, and that's what you get with our car. Because if they were just selling a car, they would just put just the car. They want you to think that you get all these things by buying their car, that freedom, the opportunities.
I would like to add on to the fact that it's called the Chevy Volt, and it's a good thing that it's electric, because if it's electric and you're going through like a forest area and you want to make sure that you can see it multiple times, you're going to have to, like, if you say your family is like an adventurous family and you have this car, it's a good thing to have the car, because then it helps your family so you don't hurt the environment, so you can come back and visit more places.
Okay, all right. Good job, you guys. You guys did exactly what I want you to. As we read our poem, we are going to first make our observations. That's our text coding within a text. We're going to make this. We're going to look for patterns and then draw our conclusions on theme. What is this poem saying? And I'm going to tell you, today I'm going to push you a little bit. This poem is not the easiest to read, but I really believe if we follow this process and analyze with observations and patterns and drawing conclusions, you'll get it very easily. Okay? So that's what we're going to do.